Hello, everyone. This is our fourth lesson, and if you're watching it, you are doing a great job. I am sure of it. So, today we are going to speak about the next topic in our course. It is about used to, would, get used to, and be used to. I'd like to start with some examples, and there will be a video. It'll take.
I now pronounce you man and wife. I love you.
I used to be a dude.
Okay, the first example. I love you. I used to be a dude. If you remember what is used to, you see that she's talking about her past experience and she's telling that she was a guy in the past. She was a man. Next one.
The point is, I overreacted. I'm just not used to.
I'm not just used to obstacles. Yeah, I overreacted means I reacted not well. It was too much. Maybe he was too angry or too anxious. And I am just not used to obstacles means he never dealt with some difficulties. Obstacles means difficulties. So he is not accustomed to some difficulties and he's like, I'm just not used to obstacles. Next one.
Obstacles.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry that we told you, okay? It's part of being in a relationship. Eventually you get
Eventually, you get used to these annoying little things. So, eventually means like little by little, you get used to. Here he's telling that you will get accustomed to these annoying things after some time. Yeah, and here we see the example of get used to. So then I'd like to start with our grammar. The first one is used to with the infinitive. I hope you remember that it is used with infinitive only, the first form of the verb, and it refers to some past habits or states. This is very important, and I hope you remember state verbs from our last lesson. So in such cases, used to can be replaced by the past simple with no difference in meaning. Yeah, we can replace used to with past simple, but in some cases. Let's look at examples. The first one, he used to go out. He went out a lot when he was younger. He doesn't do it anymore. So the first one is good because we are telling about the fact that now he doesn't do it, so he used to do it in the past. The other example of went out is also the same thing. He went out in the past. Now he doesn't do it. Next one, example of the question. Did she use to spend or did she spend a lot of money when she was single? I'd like to pay attention to the form. So, for example, if we have such a sentence, I'd like to tell about my past, and I used I used to be a naughty child. So it means that I was kind of like spoiled a little bit, and I was really hard to deal with. So I used to be a naughty child. If some people ask me this question, if it's a question, so it will be like, did you use to be a naughty child? So we are using the rules of past simple tense. Yep, everything is right. Did you used to be a naughty child? We remember that in past simple, we need to use did, our auxiliary verb. And when we ask this question, when we have this did in the sentence, our verb will return to the first form. Okay, let's make a negative sentence, negation. I didn't or I did not. Okay, let it be short form. I didn't use to be A naughty child. But of course, when you talk, when you say it really fast, it's okay. Sometimes we can hear I didn't used to be, like you don't hear it really well. A naughty child. So here we have an example of a question. Did she use to spend a lot of money when she was single? It means that now she's married or she's dating somebody. She's not single anymore. Also, we use the past simple and not used to for actions which happened at a definite time. It means that if we have some time in the sentence, like yesterday, last month, or 2 years ago, we don't use used to. Here we have an example. He visited Paris last month. We have a definite time. That's why we can't say he used to visit Paris last month. So used to is used only for past habits that don't happen anymore. For example, like if we are talking about a man who, yeah, like he used to smoke, and it means that now he doesn't smoke anymore. He gave up smoking. Okay, so it is with used to. I hope that you remember about this tense, this structure, sorry. And we are going to the next one. I know that you're familiar with this word, would. Usually we see it in the sentences like, I would like to have something, I'd like. But here we are talking about would for repeated past actions or routines in the past. So it means that you can use would for past habits. Here we have an example. We would or used to eat out on Sundays. It means that we did it in the past, now we don't do it anymore. Yeah, what we need to remember about would for past actions, past habits, we don't use would with state verbs. We remember about state verbs, right? We use with state verbs, we use used to. Here we have an example. They used to live in London, not they would live in London. I used to have a pet dog, not I would have. Also, we don't normally use, we don't use would for past habits in negations, in negative sentences, and for questions. So it means that, you can tell about your past habits with would, but you cannot ask some questions. Also, would is like more formal, and we can use would for some sweet memories. For example, I had a grandma. She died, oh my gosh, approximately 6 or 7 years ago, and I loved her very much. And I can say that we would spend much time together. We would cook together, we would have breakfasts and dinners, and she would knit me some gloves, even mittens, socks, and we would be, no, here you see, I can't say we would be very close. I can say we used to be very close. And yeah, I like that time. So, and when we tell about such events like something sweet, something from the past, you're like remembering it, so we can use would. Okay, so then we are going to the next one. Next expressions are be used to and get used to. These expressions are really common, and you can see the meaning in their form. So for example, if we look at be used to, it means that, like, I am, of course it'll change. We don't say I be used to, we change it. We remember that we have three forms, am, is, are, so I'm using am. I am used to something. I am accustomed to something. Something is okay for me. For example, it's okay for me to go to bed very late, and I can say, I am used to going to bed very late. Here we need to remember one thing. If you're using a verb, it'll be with ing form. I know it sounds strange after this to, but yeah, we need to use ing. Let's look at the first example. They are used to hot weather. Here we don't see any ing because we are talking about hot weather. So they are accustomed to hot weather. It's about present. It's a fact about them. Also, we can change be used to and use it in different tenses. Let's look at the second example. I'm used to getting up early. It's the opposite of my sentence. Yeah, and we are talking about the fact. I am accustomed to getting up early. I always get up early. For this person, it's okay. Next one, C. She wasn't used to working at night. And here we see that we changed our be into the past form. And this sentence is about past. She wasn't accustomed to working at night. Past tense. So we can change this be and use it for any tense. For example, I can say that, yeah, I was used to eating much junk food, but now I'm trying to cut down on it. I'm trying to stop eating it. Also, we have get used to. The verb get, it's kind of a transitional verb. It shows us that something is changing. And here we are talking about the process that we are getting used to something. And we can use it in different tenses too. Let's look at the first example with get used to. Mary is getting used to life in the city. Sorry, it's life. Mary is becoming accustomed to life in the city. So we have this transitional period. She's getting used to this life. Next one. Simon had never lived in a tropical country before, but he quickly got used to it. We are talking about some kind of change, and this change happened in the past. That's why we changed get to got. He got used to it. He became accustomed to it. Past simple. Next one, future. They will soon get used to cooking their own meals. And here we see will get used to cooking. We need to remember after be used to and get used to, we always use verbs with ing endings. They will become accustomed to cooking their own meals. I know that when you hear this explanation, you're like, yeah, it's okay, I got it. But let's practice a little bit. Let's do some tasks. We have kind of a test, and you have the same on the platform, but the questions are different. So let's look at the first one. Sharon looks different now, doesn't she? Yes, she, there is a right answer, used to have long dark hair, didn't she? And it means that in the past she had this long hair, but now she doesn't, and that's why she looks different. Let's look at the second, and we are going to do it together. I have never driven an automatic car before. You will soon to eat. Okay, I'm giving you 3 seconds. What variant do you think it is? If you've chosen A, so you've done a great job, because you will soon get used to it. It means that this period will be finished for you. You will get used to it. You will get accustomed to this car. Next one, the third. How is Sarah? She's fine. She to life in the countryside. Okay, we have the variants. She got used. She used. She's getting used. Okay. So, how's Sarah? And we can say that she is getting used to life in the countryside. She is getting accustomed to it. The fourth, have you always worked as a nurse? No, I A child minder. Kind of like a nanny. Have you always worked as a nurse? No, I was used to be. Nope. Nope. I used to be. It's about our past experience. Next one. 5. Do you remember when we were little? Yes, Dad. Uh-huh. Always read us a bedtime story. Here we are remembering. We remember. We try to recollect some memory from the past, and it's kind of a sweet memory. That's why we can use would. Dad would always read us a bedtime story. Next one. 6. Aren't you tired? No, I to walking long distances. So, aren't you tired? No, it's okay for me. I'm used to walking long distances. Got used is not okay because like he's not tired. It's okay for him. For him, it's just a piece of cake to walk these. I don't know how many miles, how many kilometers. And used is not fine too because we are not talking about some past habits. And the last one, Jane had trouble with her job at first. Yes, she to working on her own. Jane had trouble with her job at first. Yes, she wasn't used to working on her own. That's why she had these problems because she wasn't used to working on her own. But yeah, after some time, she will get used to it. So on the platform, you have some speaking tasks too, and also some rules. I hope that there will be no questions, but if you have any questions, you can text me anytime and I will answer you back and try to explain the rules to you. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for your active work, and I think you're doing a great job because you're doing tasks on the platform. You are visiting the speaking lessons and you're practicing your English speaking skills. So it was nice to see you today. Bye bye. Have a nice one. See ya.